right angle means that this is 90 degrees. How do I know that? If I see this little square, then I know. Any straight line or straight angle is going to be 180 degrees. All the angles attached to it will add up to 180. Then we have vertical angles and linear pairs. Vertical angles, linear pairs. Linear pairs add to 180. And vertical angles are congruent. Vertical angles are the angles that are across from each other, like this one and this one. And those are going to be congruent to each other. And this teal one and this teal one, those are vertical angles to each other, and those are congruent. But if I add this one, this teal one, with this blue one, those add up to 180, and those are linear pairs. So measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 equals 180 degrees, whereas angle 2 is congruent to angle 4, and angle 3 is congruent to angle 1. All right, next we have triangle sum theorem. The angles inside a triangle all add up to 180 degrees. So the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 equals 180 degrees. So as I solve these, I'm looking for vertical angles, linear pairs, and then ultimately I'm looking for a triangle. So I can see this triangle is where I'm going to end up at. I need to get measures of the inside of that triangle first so I can figure out V. So I see 31 degrees over here. These are vertical angles. So this is 31 degrees. This inside of the triangle is the same as the outside of the triangle. Those are vertical angles. So this is 23 degrees. So I've got 31 plus 23 plus this angle right here, which is the same as angle V. So I'm going to call that measure of angle V. That's all equal to 180 degrees because those are the three angles within a triangle. So let me solve this. 31 plus 23 is 54 plus measure of angle V equals 180. So I subtract 54 from both sides. I get the measure of angle V equals 126 degrees. All right, well, the rest of these problems are rather similar. I'm still looking at a triangle, and I'm trying to use that triangle, use the angles of that triangle to figure out the missing angle. So if I'm trying to get W, then I need to figure out this angle. These are next to each other, not across from each other. So those are a linear pair. So the angle here, we'll call it X. Measure of angle X plus 145 equals 180 degrees. These are supplementary, they're a linear pair. So subtract 145 from both sides. I get the measure of angle X, or whatever you want to call it, is 35 degrees. So this is 35. I need to find this angle here are vertical angles to it, so that's 38 degrees. So I've got 38 degrees plus 35 degrees. That's equal to 180 degrees. No, it's not. Plus, I need W. measure of angle W, that equals 180 degrees. So now I've got the measure of angle W plus 38 plus 35 is 73. Okay, hopefully that's right. Subtract 73. And I get measure of angle W equals 107. Answer number 2. Now looking at number 3, I'm trying to find angle X over here. Well, it's vertical angle, so I know that this is also angle X. So now I just have to find these other two. If this is 25, this angle, vertical angles, is 25. However, these are next to each other, so those add up to 180. So whatever that is, minus 75, or 180, minus that 75 will tell me this angle over here. So that's 105. 105. So I take 105 plus the measure of angle X from the top plus that 25 degrees. The whole thing equals 180 degrees. So combining like terms, I get 130 plus measure of angle X equals 180. Subtract 130. And I get measure of angle X equals 50 degrees. All right, 50. Looking at angle 4 here, move this up a little bit. These are going to be a linear pair to each other, so let me just figure out what this angle is first. This is 55, that's 55. If this is 36, that's 36. So this one plus that one, let's call it X, adds up to 180, so 36 plus 55 plus X equals 180. 36 plus 55 is 91, plus X equals 180. Subtract 91 from both sides. And I get X equals 89. That gives me X. I need to find Y. These are vertical angles, but these are next to each other, so they're not vertical angles. So those are not congruent to each other. But they do add up to 180 degrees. So 89, this one, plus the measure of angle Y, which I don't know yet, equals 180 degrees. So if I subtract 89, I find out that measure of angle Y equals 91 degrees. All right, looking at number 5, I need to find Z. So this is also Z because those are vertical angles. This one is not vertical angles to 138. Those are next to each other, so those add up to 180. So 138 plus whatever that one is, I'm going to call it Q. Measure angle Q equals 180. So subtract 138. And I get measure angle Q equals 42 degrees. So if that's 42 degrees, then let's see, that has a square. So if you look at my notes at the top, that means that's 90 degrees. So now I got 42 plus 90 plus the measure angle Z equals 180. So 42 plus 90 degrees plus the measure of angle Z, which I need to figure out, equals 180 degrees. These combine to 132 plus the measure angle Z equals 180. Subtract the 132 from both sides. And I get my final answer that M measure angle Z equals 48 degrees. There we go. Front page of that review. Get ready for that test.